Hi everyone, it's Grizz. We're back in the garage. I'm equipped with a large steaming hot cup of tea, lots of parts ready to go back on the Punisher. I think today we're gonna finish it. I think today is D-Day. Let's get it done. Right, so the scene is set and it's time to get to work. What have we got to do today? We've got to fit the exhaust, get that all fitted up, get the radiator on. I've been doing jobs in the background here just to speed up this final video. I've rubbed down the radiator and give that a kind of splash of paint. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. It's going to do for now. Yeah, what else? So I've got to put fresh coolant in the radiator once I've got that fitted. I've got an issue with the side light. It keeps flashing on and off when I try to adjust the headlight, so I need to suss what's going on there. I've gone on also and moved these mirrors. They were fixed on the end of the bar. Now they're just in the bar ends. And now I can move all this over and get the brake lever in the correct position. It may not look a million miles off, but it's not quite straight, and when you go to grip the brake lever it doesn't feel right. So I've already done the clutch side and I'm much happier with that. That is now sitting in a more natural position. And I need to adjust over on this side as well. What else needs doing? Oh, rear brake. I've got an issue with the rear brake. When I apply that, the rear brake light doesn't operate properly. So I went through and I found an old brake light switch. I'm not 100% sure if this is for Fireblade. I think it might be. And a rusty spring. But maybe I can clean this up and hopefully fix the issue with the rear brake. I've also got to finish off this rear seat. It doesn't look bad at all, to be honest. I'm being a bit perfectionist, but it's not 100% asymmetrical, so I'm gonna kind of finish that off a little bit more and reshape that and then fit it. Other little jobs I need to do, just setting up and getting it ready for the road for use for me. I want to adjust the suspension, make it a bit harder. It's quite soft at the moment, and then adjust the chain if it's needed. And another little finishing job I need to do while I'm dropping my tools on the floor. I need to get the speedo set up properly. I fitted a sensor. This is you have quite a few options with this speedo. You can run it off a magnetic sensor which acts as a pickup for your speed, and which is the option I've gone for at the moment, just because it's the cheapest and all that I've got at the moment. But you can also use a GPS pickup for the speed, which I'll probably go on to do, which is about £100. But I'm trying not to spend money at the moment, but I just need to set that up and get that working properly with the magnet sensor which I've got on the front brake disc, which was there from the old speedo, so it just seems logical for me to do that at the moment. I might change things. This bike is not the finished article, okay? This bike at the moment isn't how I used to have it. Everything was kind of, well, everything was matte black. That you can see is black at the moment, apart from the coating on the front fork legs, those stanchions. I had those anodized, but yeah, it's not 1,000,000% how the way I would like it, but it's there. I want to get it in use and enjoy it this spring and summertime, and not kind of sweat it too much over the final finish. But I am strongly suspecting at some point this is going to be a revisited project, and I will get it again. It might go through some other changes, probably more so just putting everything back to matte black. It does look so much better. That frame is already just so blingy. It doesn't really look it in the garage here, but all that red powder coat is so blingy that it doesn't need gloss black paint. But anyway, that would be my choice and something I will do at a later date. So anyway, let's get back to today's jobs and get them done. The exhaust is on. I've had a little problem though. Let me show you. Can you see it? Here it is. It's a flipping scratch. Now I just had a little go at wiping it down to clean it up with a bit of brake cleaner, which has just caused it to kind of fade a bit. So I'm going to touch it up with a bit more paint and a fresh brush. This is the paint I'm using, by the way. I can't say if I can recommend this or not yet. I've yet to start the system up and see if all this paint's going to flip and bubble off. Anyway, I'm going to quickly touch that up. Right, that's the exhaust paint dry. I've left it overnight to dry out. Now I'm going to move on and get the end can and radiator fitted and some fresh coolant. Let's do it. Right, that is the hoses on. I'm ready to put coolant in and start the bike up and get any air out of the system. But before I do that, I just want to quickly move all this lot over and yeah, lose this gap on the end of the bar after someone previously having the mirror actually on the bar. As I said previously, all this is in the wrong position, so it's all going to go slightly that way in its natural seated position. Wow, what a difference that has made. Now I actually have the front brake working properly. I was so worried about the front brake, I was even considering doing an upgrade on the front brake master cylinder. Even after I've done a rebuild on this master cylinder, it just wasn't feeling like there was much pulling power as such there to apply on the brake, but now I have a decent gap in between the handlebar and the lever, and I can feel I can really grab a handful of brake now. Feel pretty confident about the brakes, and it's just all falls in a natural position for me to be able to apply those brakes properly. Yeah, really something worth noting. If you're going to fit aftermarket bars, make sure you've got all those bits and pieces in the right places, because it can make such a difference to the operation of your controls. Okay, let's get some coolant in and get the system bled. Right, coolant, let's get it in. I'm using Castrol Merc Cycle coolant. I used this just neat in the Ducati last summer. It did a great job, so I'm going to use it neat again in the Punisher. Let's get it in. So that is the coolant topped up. Now I need to bleed the system of any air. In order to do that, we start the bike up, let it warm up, and then give the throttle a few blips between 4,000-5,000 revs, and basically that will allow any air that is stuck in the system to escape. Then you just turn off the bike, let it cool down, and top up the coolant levels as required in the radiator and the expansion box, or reservoir should I say. This is going to be a really tense moment, because it's the first time the Punisher's been started since I've painted the engine and the exhaust. I'm not 100% confident how good that paint is. I'm very concerned that it's all going to bubble off. So let's see what happens. Let's get it started, let's get it bled out, and let's hope that paint doesn't turn into one very big mess. Wish me luck. Here goes nothing. Expect smoke. So that got a bit smoky and hot, but I had to get it that hot really to allow all that paint to burn off properly, and it stood up pretty well, I must say, actually. And there is a little bit of bubbling up of the paint on the very top of the headers of the exhaust, and I'll show you that in a sec, but the rest of it was very good. I've let the bike now cool down, and I've checked the coolant levels and they're all good. I've gone on and done a few other jobs as well, which is just going to take up time on this video. I want to try and get this one done today and not make this a super long video. I've sorted out the issue with the front side light. It was just catching on the top of the light underneath it and pulling the light out as I was adjusting it. So I've put that back in, seated it properly and adjusted the headlight height, ready for its MOT. I've sorted out the issue for the rear brake light switch as well. I used a stiffer spring, and now that is working the rear tail light correctly, so that's all good. What other jobs need to do? I need to kind of shape this just a tiny bit more now and get that more so how I want it, and then I need to sit down and read through the instructions and get the settings correct for the speedo for that magnet pickup that I've got for the speed on the front wheel. I'm not going to bore you all with that. So we're virtually there now. I just need to shape up the seat a little bit more. Then I can go on and do things like chain adjustment, suspension and chain adjustment. I'm not going to bore you with that. And as I said, the speedo settings. But on from that, we're there. From the standpoint of today's video, just to get the finished article on the seat and get it on the bike, and we're ready to rock and roll. Let's get it done. Right, so here we go. As you can see, the paint has just stood off the very top of the headers, the top of the exhaust manifold there on the exhaust. Is not horrendous. I expect that will actually flake off with time. It's not perfect, guys. But the paint on the engine itself is stood up very well. As I say, it's not perfect. I need to get the exhaust ceramic coated, but all with time. Enough of that. Let's get on and do the seat and get this bike finished. I think I've done as good as I can do on this seat. Let's get it on the bike. Wish me luck. There you go, guys. That is virtually the finished article now. It's not exactly how I want it. There's going to be more changes, but overall I'm happy with it in comparison to what it was like to when I first had it. That back seat went on without too much hassle. Looks not too bad, I don't think. Quite happy with that. Very comfortable, and it looks quite swish. Yeah. What do you think? So we've got to go get it MOT'd next, and yeah, it's ready for use, lockdown permitting. Right guys, that is it. That is the end of the Punisher Street Fighter build series. Let me show you what we've got next. Coming next, something a bit different. We're going to be servicing Taffy's bike. I say we're. Me and Taffy are going to do this one together. I'm going to teach Taffy a bit more about looking after her bike. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of work being done on this one. So join us in the lounge probably to do this one, which is going to be a bit odd, but it's going to be fun. A massive thanks to Fuchs Silkaline for all the products which they've sent us free of charge, and RNG, thank you so much, all on the back of the Hayabusa build. If you like carbon fibre cladded Hayabusas, go and have a look on the channel and you can catch the full build series. And then after I finish Taffy's bike, it's onto the BMW and time to get that one finished. Right peeps, that is it. That's enough. Job done. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.